فلله الحمد رب السماوات ورب الأرض رب العالمين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Inshallah ta'ala, we will continue our class, Aqeedat Al-Wasitiyyah. Last class we stopped in the end of Ayat Al-Kursi. Ayat Al-Kursi is a great ayah, is the greatest ayah in the Quran. أعظم آية في كتاب الله تعالى. طيب. And there was so many benefits for Ayat Al-Kursi. We will mention, inshallah, as the Shaykh mentioned here, almost 16 or 19 fa'idah, 19 benefits of Ayat Al-Kursi. We will summarize, inshallah, so we can benefit too. Shaykh said, rahimahullah, there is so many benefits from Ayat Al-Kursi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. The first fa'idah, the first benefit is إثبات الألوهية إثبات الألوهية لله سبحانه وتعالى وانفراده بذلك. When we said الله لا إله إلا هو, that will benefit that there is no God worth of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the uluhiyya belongs only to Allah. So all the worships, all the ibadah, we can only give to Allah alone. None has a right to be worshipped except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? That's the first fa'idah. Because Allah began with the ayah, Allahu la ilaha illahu, the word of Tawheed, which is no one has a right to be worshipped except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second benefit of the ayah is to affirm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sifatul hayati lahu subhanahu azza wa jal. That Allah subhanahu azza wa jal has a haya, life, subhanahu azza wa jal. Sifatul haya, the attribute of living. And His life is a perfect life subhanahu wa ta'ala, which will never vanish, will never end, subhanahu azza wa jal. The third fa'idah, إثبات الصفة القيوم، أي قيامه بنفسه وقيامه بتدبير أمور خلقه كما قال تعالى أفمن هو قائم على كل نفس. عليكم السلام. صفة القيوم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the attribute of qayyum, which means He sustains Himself and others. Every creation that Allah created, all of them need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the one who sustained them, provide them, giving them life, and so on. That's why ma'na al-qayyum. The meaning of qayyum is that. طيب. Yes. One sustains and sustainer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب. Al-Hayyul Qayyum, these two names came together, three positions in the Quran. Both of them, they were together. Al-Hayyul Qayyum, Al-Hayyul Qayyum. These two names. And the Shaykh says, rahimahullah, all the characteristics and all the attributes of Allah encompasses in these two names. Haya, all the sifat al-dhatiyah, contains all the sifat al-dhatiyah, encompasses all the attributes that belongs to Allah's being, subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you say haya, Allah is living, so there is going to be so much characteristics. He's a alim, he's a qabir, he's a so on. And qayyum contains sifat al-fi'liyah. Sifat al-fi'liyah means Allah's action towards his creation. He created, he caused life, he caused death, he make this person rich, this person, poor, this person sick, this person health, and these things happen. كل يوم هو في شأن. So that's the qayyum, means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all his attributes of sifat al-fi'liyah contains this name. So these two names are great names. That's why they came together, 3 positions in the Quran. The fourth benefit of Ayat al-Kursi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, تنزيهه سبحانه وتعالى عن صفات النقص. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He removed himself from all the characteristics that contains defects or deficiencies. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He removed himself from all these characteristics that has naqs, deficiency. كالسنة والنوم والعجز والفقر ونحو ذلك. Like drowsiness or sleeping, or being disabled, or being poor, all that characteristics are ماذا؟ جزاك الله خير. Sleeping, or being disabled, or being poor, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all these characteristics that are naqs, sifat al-naqs, Allah Jalla wa Ala, He is free from all these sifat al-naqs. And He mentioned that in the Quran, لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. سبحانه عز وجل. طيب. The fifth benefit, سعة ملكه سبحانه وتعالى له ما في السماوات والأرض ملكا. The benefit of the ayah is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the owner of the whole universe. Everything that exists, the owner is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Malik. Allah is the Malik subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one can claim the ownership of this world, part of this world. Everything belongs to Allah. Okay?
That's number 5?
That's number 5, yes. Number 6 of the benefits of Ayat al-Kursi, فيه دليل على عظمته وسلطانه وأنه أحد لا يشفع عنده. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has an absolute power over His creation, so no one can make intercession to anybody he wants without the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا يَشْفَعُونَ إِلَّا لِمَنِ ارْتَضَى. 2 things. There will be some intercession in the day of judgment, but both of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the person who makes the intercession and the person who receives intercession, both of them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must be blessed with them, from them. Okay? So He will give permission a person to intercede that person because Allah wants to be that person into Jannah. But no one can come and say, hey, I will make intercession in toward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a refutation for the mushrikeen, the pagans and idol worshippers they used to claim that their false gods will give them intercession. They said, we worship in these idols, Lat and Uzza and Manat. So in the day of judgment, they will talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah will allow us to go to Jannah. But Allah Jalla wa ala refuting us. That's wrong. Allah is saying no one can intercede without permission of Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only allows, jazakallah khair, those Allah wants them to intercede, to make the intercession. Right? Number 7, فيه إثبات الشفاعة بقيودها. Affirmation of the shafa'ah. There is a shafa'ah in day of judgment. Where is the dalil? This ayah. وَلَا يَشْفَعُونَ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِهِ. So there is a shafa'ah.
Intercession.
Yes. And chapter of shafa'ah is going to come later on in the details, inshallah ta'ala. Number 8. فيه رد على المشركين الذين يزعمون أن أصنامهم تشفع لهم. There is a refutation for the mushrikeen, those who claim that their idols will have shafa'ah in the sight of Allah on the day of judgment, which is something falsehood. The false gods cannot make shafa'ah in the sight of Allah. Number 9, فيه إثبات صفة الكلام لله تعالى. Number 9, we will benefit from the Ayat al-Kursi that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sifat al-kalam, the speech. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have his speech and talk to whom he wants, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because, what is the dalil? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, وَلَا يَشْفَعُونَ مَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يَشْفَعُ عِنْدَهُ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِهِ. The idhn is from Allah. He will give direct order to the person who wants to make shafa'ah. So he will talk to him, oh, so and so, go make shafa'ah to that person. So we'll benefit from this, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sifatul kalam. And it will come so much ayat clearly that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks to whom he wants. He has talked to the Anbiya Allah by wahi. Musa and Kalimullah and Muhammad and so on. All the Anbiya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will talk to them. Al-Ashir, the 10th benefit is فيه إثبات صفة العلم لله سبحانه وتعالى. That we affirm Allah the صفة العلم. ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه. The knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has a knowledge, and his knowledge is absolute knowledge. Okay? And no one can reach how much is Allah's knowledge. Only Allah knows subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's something beyond our, imagination, yes, or comprehension, whatever it may be. طيب, the 11th, فيه رد على القدرية والرافضة ونحوهم الذين يزعمون أن الله لا يعلم الأشياء إلا بعد وقوعها. He said there is some refutation for the two deviant sects, so-called Al-Rafida, which is the Shia Al-Rafida, and Qadariyah, those who deny the predestination, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already knows the knowledge of everything before even they happen. They deny that. Those people so-called Al-Qadariyah.
The Rafida you get to?
Huh?
Rafida, they deny that too?
Rafida just same like the Qadariyah. Rafida, they have so much bid'ah. So many bid'ah. Bid'at Irja, bid'at Mu'tazila, bid'at كل شيء. They have everything. الثاني عشر ثالث عشر 13 فيه اختصاصه بالتعليم وأن الخلق لا يعلمون إلا ما علمهم. We will benefit from it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who teaches and gives the knowledge for the mankind. And no one can gain knowledge without permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, without teaching of Allah. And the dalil is that the malaika, when Allah created them, they said, Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. They said, we have no knowledge except that which you taught us. No one can have the knowledge except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what He teaches us. Everything we have, everything may claim the human being, that's coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a creation of Allah azza wa jal. نعم. الرابع عشر إثبات عظمته سبحانه وتعالى. 14, to affirm the greatness of Allah. He's so great over His creation. How are we going to benefit that? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضِ. His kursi is bigger than all the heavens and earth together. So what are we going to benefit? The one who created that kursi, which is very huge, He's bigger than that. Subhanahu azza wa jal. طيب, we're going to benefit also the existence of the kursi. There is a kursi and exists because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. The 16, we will benefit فيه إثبات صفة المشيئة لله تعالى. Affirmation for the Mashi'ah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what? Has Mashi'ah. Mashi'ah means will. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created whatever He wills. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave anybody whatever He wills. So the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This Mashi'ah, so many Ahlul Bid'ah, they don't accept it. Sifatul Fi'liyah, which related to the Mashi'at Allah ta'ala, they deny. Okay? They said, حلول الحوادث يلزم منها حلول الحوادث. There is nothing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they said, cannot, His sifat cannot be some of the hawadith, things that has a characteristics of created things. Begin and end, they said. Something have begun and end cannot be attributed to Allah as a sifat. So that's why sifatul fi'liyah they denied. And these are two groups, so-called Asha'ira and Maturidiyah. Naam. Which one?
This one that you said.
Ithbatus Mashi'ah?
No, how the Ahlul Bid'ah deny, and why do they deny, saying that Hawadith?
This is so much philosophy behind it to break it down, but they have so much techniques, these different groups, to deny the characteristics of Allah that He mentioned in the Quran or Sunnah. They don't deny like that. They have to bring something can convince us to accept it their way, to deny it. They said there is some some stuff that's calling هذه حركة هذه كل شيء له حركة فهو ماذا مخلوق وكل شيء مخلوق يعني وكل شيء له الصفات وصفات مخلوق فهو يكون مخلوقا ما لا يخلو من الحوادث فهو حادث. They say anything who contains al-hawadith means something that Allah created. If He has some characteristics that is created things has it, He will be like created one. So we know that Allah is not created, so we negate from this sifat. It has so much details, but it needs some sessions itself.
What's the attribute again, Shaykh?
Al-Mashi'ah.
Oh, okay, it's the same.
Mashi'ah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sifatul kalam, speech. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this sifat also we can make it two types. Sifatul dhat or sifatul fi'liyah. Sifatul dhat is something that Allah has it and He had it forever. Al-kalam, al-ilm, al-sam', al-basar, sifatul dhat. Everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is being has it as a attributes. And there is something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala related to it when He wants His mashi'ah, He uses. For example, sifatul kalam, sifat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a characteristics to speak to whom He wants. He has that ability as sifatul that. But He may talk to Nabiullah Musa, and He talk maybe Nabiullah Muhammad, or He may talk to the angel Jibreel. They deny this. They said because His speech, it will be like something begins somewhere and ends somewhere, and begins somewhere and ends somewhere, and that they call that's a'rad, that's hawadith, and anything that hawadith like that, if we attribute to Allah, Allah تقوم عليه الحوادث. We attribute something hawadith that He has, so anything has a hawadith, He's going to become hadith too. So they deny everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala related to His mashi'ah, His af'al, and these groups are so-called sifatiyah. It will need more maybe details.
Same group which says He never goes over His throne and they try to change the words and stuff like that.
This one they really deny. Sifat al-fi'liyah, they said, they don't say we're not accepting. They use their technique as we mentioned, ta'wilat and tahrifat. Now, طيب بارك الله فيك. We go ahead and read the new درس. ولهذا قال الشيخ رحمه الله ولهذا, after he explained آية الكرسي, he said ولهذا من قرأ هذه الآية في ليلة لم يزل عليه حافظ من الله سبحانه وتعالى. For this greatness of this ayah, there is a hadith narrated from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said في صحيح البخاري عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى قال, he said, anything who recites this ayah, Ayatul Kursi, in the night when he takes his place to sleep, when he go to bed, if a person recite this ayah, there will be an angel guiding him all night long, guiding you from the shaitan, and shaitan cannot come close to you because you have recited this ayah, this verse, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. طيب, and this ayah has also some story behind it. The hadith we mentioned, one time Abu Huraira was guiding the store of Zakat al-Fitr, where the Muslimun, when they bring their Zakat al-Fitr, was stored in order to give the Masakin. Abu Huraira was guiding the store of the Sadaqat al-Fitr. So in the middle of night, he has seen a man enter into a store and just taking the Sadaqah. And he catches him. He said, why? I'm going to take it to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he begged him and said, please don't take me to the Prophet. Because why? I'm a family man, I have kids, they are really starving to death. So that's why I came and take this food. He said, okay, I will let you go tonight, but don't come back anymore. And he just left him. Abu Huraira, he go to the Prophet ﷺ and he told this story. And he said, he lied to you and he's going to come back. The second night he came, same thing. And Abu Hurairah, he did same thing. He caught him and he said, I'm going to take the Prophet. Again, he started begging him and so on. And the third time, he did same thing, but he said, this time I'm not going to let you go. I'm going to take you to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because you came 3 nights. He said, how about if I teach you something that will benefit you? Would you, leave me alone? He said, bring what you have. He said, I'll give you this secret. If you recite this ayah in a night when you are taking your bed, you're sleeping, if you recite Ayatul Kursi, no shaitan will come close around you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect you, because there will be an angel guarding you alone from the shayateen. He said, okay. He let him go. In the morning, he go to the Prophet ﷺ and he said, the man, he came back and he said this and this. He said, Sadaqaka wa huwa kadoob. He told you the truth about this. That's the Ayatul Kursi. If you recite it when you sleep, just before you take your bed, if you recite it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send an angel guarding you. And when the angel around you, all the shayateen, they run away. So you have very safe sleep. But he said he was a liar in the other hand, because he was a shaitan. He was not, he's not a human being. Yeah. Wallahu alam. So there is a great ayah. We should learn all the means about this ayah. And then we need, inshaAllah ta'ala, to benefit so much sifatillahi ta'ala and af'alihi, his actions subhanahu azza wa jal. طيب. وقوله سبحانه وتعالى هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو بكل شيء عليم. In this ayah, also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned a couple characteristics of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. صفات الله عز وجل. هو الأول. هو الأول. Allah is the awwal, the first. He's the what? The first. والآخر, and he is the what? The last. والظاهر, he's what? Al-Zahir means the most high. Subhanahu azza wa jal. Wal-Batin, the nearest, the one who is near for everything. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٍ. So this ayah contains 4 things, 4 characteristics, and 4 attributes belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Awwal, subhanahu azza wa jal, huwa al-awwal laysa qablahu shay. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave us details about this hadith. قال اللهم أنت الأول فليس قبلك شيء وأنت الآخر فليس بعدك شيء وأنت الظاهر فليس فوقك شيء وأنت الباطن فليس دونك شيء. رواه مسلم. هذا الحديث, this hadith gave us the details and the meaning of awwal and akhir and zahir and batin. These 4 great characteristics. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allahumma anta al-awwal. What does mean anta al-awwal? Anta al-awwal, he said, laysa qablaka shay. Nothing was before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah azza wa jal is a azali. Azza wa jal. Naam. ليس قبله شيء. Nothing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu azza wa jal is the awwal. When we say the awwal, there is no way that we can imagine that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begin one point. Never. Is a azali means to ever exist. Ever exist. Whatever you go back to the time, our aql, our intellect cannot even understand the awwaliyyatullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How Allah is the first. Means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no time He was not there and He began. No. He was ever exist. That's the awwal means. Subhanahu azza wa jal. And when we understand the awwal, the opposite side of the awwal is al-akhir. Right? What does mean al-akhir? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam means, he said, laysa ba'daka shay'un. Means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes to end and other things will remain. No. Everything will go and vanish, and Allah only subhanahu wa ta'ala is the everlasting. That's the ma'na what? Al-akhir. So it's very important to understand meaning of the awwal and meaning of the akhir. ليس قبله شيء. هو الأول فليس قبله شيء. And هو الآخر فليس بعده شيء. الأولية والأخروية لله سبحانه وتعالى. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه. Everything will die and vanish except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who will ever last. Everything that created, they will taste death. ماذا قال جل وعلا? What is the ayah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said? كل شخص كل نفس ذائقة الموت. Every living thing shall taste death. Okay. Even the planets and earth and heavens, they die, all of them. When the hour comes, as-samawat wal ard is going to be gone. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will recreate new heavens and new earth in a day of judgment. But this earth and these galaxies, these planets out there, these heavens, everything, when the hour of Allah came, all of them, they will be destroyed and vanished. And they go back to dust, zero. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will create new one. So that's why He will create everything back to life. يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات وبرزوا لله الواحد القهار. نعم. So Allah is الأول والآخر. طيب. والظاهر والباطن. الظاهر, what does mean الظاهر? The meaning of ظاهر, also the Prophet ﷺ already told us, Allahumma wa anta al-zahiru, you are the most high. فَلَيْسَ فَوْقَكَ شَيْءٍ, nothing can be above Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See? لعلو الله عز وجل. Okay? هذا هو معنى الظاهر. طيب. فليس فوقك الشيء. So الظاهر means العالي المرتفع الذي فوق ليس فوقه شيء. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above everything. As He said in the Quran, after He created all the creation, the biggest creation was the throne of Allah. The throne of Allah, after Allah He created everything, Allah said, بعد ذلك ثم استوى على العرش. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after He created everything, He went above His throne. Naam. So He's the Most High. Nothing will be higher than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means Allah is a Zahir. طيب. The meaning of Zahir is really clear. And the ظهر تأتي بمعنى على, بمعنى علو. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when he was talking about Juj or Ma'juj, when the Dhul-Qarnayn put the barrier, that barrier was very strong and very, solid, so they cannot knock it down, or they can climb on top of it. فَمَا اسْطَاعُوا أَن يَظْهَرُوهُ. They cannot come on the top of the barrier. So the al-Zahir means al-Ali. Okay? طيب. But some of al-Bid'ah, they said, al-Zahir means he overcomes. He overcome everything. Like everything was challenging Allah, so he challenging them and he overcome them. That's wrong meaning. Yeah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Most High Azza wa Jal. وقوله الباطن, صفة الباطن. What does mean batin? Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وأنت الباطن فليس دونك شيء. Batin means you are nearest to everything. That means the batin. Nothing can be far from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Far and close is just to our own way as a makhluk. But to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything is close for him. طيب. ونعلم ما توسوس به نفسه ونحن أقرب إليه من حبل الوريد. سبحانه عز وجل. He's closer to everything, Allah subhanahu عز وجل. That's why he's a batin. عز وجل. ليس دونه شيء. And باطنيته بعلمه. He knows everything. And he's close to everything. And nothing can escape Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from his knowledge. Subhanahu azza wa jal. طيب. These 4 ayahs, Ibn al-Qayyim said رحمه الله, فهذه الأسماء الأربعة متقابلة. These 4 names are opposite to one another. Al-awwal is opposite to al-akhir. Al-Zahir is opposite to batin. That's what he said. He said, اسمان لأزليته وأبديته. 2 names of these 4 names indicates that Allah is ever exist, everlasting. Is azaliyah, is abadiyah, which is al-awwal wal-akhir. They indicate that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ever exist and everlasting. طيب. واسمان لعلوه وقربه. And 2 names also indicate that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most high and most closest and nearest to his creation. So both of them, al-awwal wal-akhir wal-zahir wal-batin, they have great names and attributes that belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Naam. وهو بكل شيء عليم. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also attribute to himself صفة ايش؟ العلم. عليم بمعنى فعيل للمبالغة. عليم, the one who knows the most, and his ilm is perfect. وهو بكل شيء عليم. بكل شيء, everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he knows deeply, because he's the one who created and put that place. Everything, every living things, not living things. He's the one who created and put his proper place, and he knows it subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why he's alim, the most knowledgeable. Naam. And صفة العلم من صفات الذات, صفات الذاتية. Lillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah's ilm, sifatu that means He had it forever. There is no point that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not know anything and then He know it. That's wrong. Some Ahl Bid'ah, they do something like that. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. They attribute to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ignorance. Like a Qadariyah we mentioned. They said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He don't know that things that happen, He don't know before they happen. So they attribute to Allah what? Ignorance. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. And that's kufr. Right? طيب. So this is صفة الذات لله سبحانه وتعالى. نعم. وقوله سبحانه وتعالى وتوكل على الحي الذي لا يموت. وتوكل على الحي الذي لا يموت. Tawakkul is reliance. Put your reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Upon al-hayy alladhi la yamut. فوت أمرك أو أمورك فمن توكل عليه كفاه وشفاه ويسر له كل شديد إلى آخره. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave His name Al-Hayy. The name of Hayy contains صفة إيش؟ صفة الحياة. As we mentioned, every name of Allah contains attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a Hayy. And His Hayah is perfect. His Hayah is perfect. La yamut means the death is a sifatul naqs. Someone who died cannot be God. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He negates from Himself the death. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. La yamut subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's everlasting. So His Hayah is kamila. It's a perfect. But everything else that Allah created, no matter how long they're going to live, but they have to taste the death. They're going to die. Now, so the Hayatullah subhanahu wa ta'ala belongs to Him. And our Hayah belongs to us as a man, as a creation. When we attribute to Allah Hayah, it's not the one we attribute to ourselves. All the sifat are just like that. Everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala attributes to Himself is something suitable for Him and belongs to Him. It's not like what the creation has. الذي لا يموت. So the tawakkul ala Allah is something very, very encouraged. It's a ibadah. One of the greatest ibadah that you put your reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know that Allah is the one who creates you. He's the one who provides you. So all the time put your trust and reliance upon Him. He's the one who aids you. That's the one who gives you tawfiq and everything. And when you put your trust on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it doesn't mean that you sit down and you don't do anything. Rather, the Prophet ﷺ said, لو أنكم توكلتم على الله حق توكله لرزقكم الله كما يرزق الطير تغدو خماصا وتروح بطانا. If you really make your tawakkul upon Allah, the haqqa tawakkulihi, I should be made the tawakkul upon Him, He will give you provision like He gives the birds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the birds their provision, their irzaq every day. He says, these birds, they go in the night, their nest, and they stay there. They spend all night long sitting there. In the morning, they will go. They don't know where they're going to go, where they're going to head, where they're going to eat. They don't know. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide for them. They go and they get their provision ready for them. They eat and eat and eat all day long, and they come back to their nest in the night while they are full stomach. Because they have tawakkul, he said alayhi salam. If you have the same tawakkul of the birds, Allah will give you his vision just like he gave his bird. So put your reliance and your tawakkul ala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what they did, the birds, they contains two things: tawakkul and the action. You put your tawakkul ala Allah, but you move and make your what? Al-asbab. Naam. وقوله سبحانه وتعالى وهو الحكيم الخبير. This is another sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sifat al-hukm and sifat what? Al-khibra, khabir. Hakim has two meanings. الحاكم بين خلقه بأمره الديني الشرعي وأمره الكوني القدري. الحاكم, the one who rules between his creation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has two rules. Al-Shar'i, which is the Quran and the Sunnah. And Qadari is the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put in this world. The law of the universe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put together. That law is the rule of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one can change it. This rule that Allah subhanahu, when He created this world, He created with the rule and regulations. And everyone will go through that rule, no matter whether he likes or not. You be sick, you be. No one say, I cannot be sick, I'll stay healthy. You'll be poor. The disaster came to you. You get something good, you get something bad. All these are just the rules that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put in this world. You have to accept it. As well, the rules of legislation that He legislated in the Quran and the Sunnah. You should follow whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made lawful. And you stay away everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made unlawful. Okay? You follow the commandments of Allah and you stay the prohibition and things that Allah He banned. So if you combine the hukmullah, al-kawni wal-qadari, you're really successful. That's one meaning. Another meaning is Hakim is the one who creates things and put their proper places. Everything Allah He created, He put the proper place they belong, where they belong. You will never find something that Allah created and you say this really is not in a proper place. Ever. Allah is the one who puts everything in its proper place. And that means He's a Hakim. We are man, we cannot put everything in its proper place. Every day we make a mistake. Which means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the mistake. So it's a Hakim. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sifat al-hikmah wal-hukm. Subhanahu azza wa jal. Naam. وهو الحكيم الخبير. Wal-Khabir is the one who knows the things deeply. Someone knows about something in just the outwardly, but the person who knows inward of the things, that's an expert. For example, the person who put together this camera and the person who uses it, they are different, right? The one who put together all the technologies and all the materials and begin from zero and put together and knows every wire and every button and how and the person who uses, they are different. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a khabir. He is the one who knows everything deeply. We as a man, we don't know so many things about this universe. If we know something, we know just something we using when we look at nature. All the time we look at nature and we go fixing something. We cannot do something unless we have inspiration from the nature that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put together. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying He's a khabir. But we are not. We have very simple knowledge. We have so much mistakes. Every single day we said, hey, whatever we have last year was wrong. New study came. New technology came. We just keep, moving forward and forward. And now we're saying, hey, all this civilization is bringing to us disasters, not good things. What we want to go back to live the way we were living before 200 years ago. If you want to be healthy, if you want to be good, we want to go back the way we were living 200 years ago. Now you see how doctors talks about, hey, we should eat the way our ancestors used to eat. If we want to become healthy, we should stop what we're eating now. This life, this prosperity that we have is destroying us. This technology is destroying us. Everything is destroying us as a human being. We're losing our mind. We're losing our humanity. Let's stop this. Everybody talking. That's true. Whatever we do, we think technology and smartness. It's not. Rather, we are just going toward our destruction. Look today when people how they threaten each other for nuclear bombs. Every country has a nuclear bomb or hydrogen bomb, which is worse than even the nuclear. Why? They want a human being to hit. You die, I'm gonna leave. What kind of technology will benefit that? Will bring destruction. Nothing will leave this earth if this kind of war happen. And it's not like before. The first time was used to Japan, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. It was only early of the nuclear factories. But today, the advance of technology is very, very worse than that. So every time we have some, advanced knowledge, we're going toward our destruction. Staying with the deen of Allah, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, the way He created this world, if we keep it as it is, we will live good life here and hereafter. Now, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has so many sifat. He mentioned this today lesson. The time is up already. Allah is al-awwal, Allah is al-akhir, Allah is al-zahir, Allah is al-batin, Allah is al-alim, Allah is al-hayy, Allah is al-hakim, Allah is al-khabir. So all these sifat are great characteristics and names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every name contains attribute. Alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sallam ajma'in.